कृष्णः श्रीकृष्णं भजते गुरुः सिद्धान्ततस्त्व भेदेऽपि कृपालुर्मे गुरुर्महान् वर्हापीडं नटवरवपुः कर्णयोः कर्णिकारम् बिभ्रद्वासः कनककपिशं वैजयन्तीं च मालाम् रन्ध्रान् वेणोरधरसुधया पूरयन् गोपवृन्दैर्वृन्दारण्यं स्वपदरमणं प्राविशद् गीतकीर्तिः नमः कमलना भाय नमः कमलमालिने नमः कमलपादाय नमस्ते कमलेक्षण यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तग्वं ह देवमात्म बुद्धिप्रकाशं मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। Spiritual seekers, let's chant for a few minutes with love and devotion in our hearts the name of Sri Radharani. Radhe 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 राधे 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 राधे
राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे
राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे
राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे
राधे राधे राधे
राधे राधे राधे
राधे राधे राधे
राधे राधे राधे
राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे
राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे राधे बोलिए, ताली बजाइए, ग्रुप ध्यान कीजिए। राधे 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 राधे
Radhe Radhe Radhe.
Radhe 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 Radhe. Radhe Radhe Radhe.
बोलिए वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की
जय।
रासेश्वरी राधा रानी की
जय।
श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय। Devotional listeners, now I humbly request your full attention. My topic is the most fortunate day. And why the topic is the most fortunate day will become clear towards the end. Rigved says, Tvamasmakam tavasmasi. My Lord, you are my one and only. Only you are mine. The word eva has been used abundantly in the Vedas. Tameva viditvati mrityumeti nanyah pantha vidyate yanaya. Shweta Shvatropanishad, chapter 3, mantra number 8. Only God. Eva. Alone or only. Rasagvam hevayam labdhva nandi bhavati. Taittiriyopanishad, chapter 2, mantra number 7. Again, the word eva, hevayam. Eva has been used only. The words eva and ananya have been used in the Bhagavad Gita in many places. Mameva ye prapadyante mayametantaranti te. Shri Krishna says, Daivi hesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mameva ye prapadyante mayametantaranti te. Chapter 7, verse 14. O Arjun, you cannot conquer Maya without my grace. It is my Maya. This energy called Maya, it is mine, Mama Maya. And no one can conquer Maya. No one can go beyond Maya without my grace. You must surrender to me. You must love me alone. Mameva ye prapadyante. It is only by surrendering to me that you can defeat Maya. Tameva sharanam gaccha sarva bhavena bharat. Again, the word ev comes. Ananyashchintayanto mam ye janah paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. Chapter 9, verse 22. The word ananya is used. No other, na anya, ananya. No other, only one, God. Mamekameva sharana maatmanam sarvadehinam yahi sarvatma bhavena maya syahyukuto bhaya. Bhagavad Mahapuran also says the same. Uses the word eva, mamekameva. Mamekam eva, mamekameva. Every living being must surrender to me alone. Everyone must come to me for shelter, for I am the only shelter for all, says Bhagwan Shri Krishna. So there's only one that we must surrender to. There's only one that we must worship, and that is God. He is the one and only. For countless lives, despite the fact that we have practiced devotion, we have not accepted that God is the only one for us. Countless times we have recited the words, Tvameva Mata, Chapita, Tvameva, Tvameva Bandhuscha, Sakha Tvameva, Tvameva Vidya, Dravinam Tvameva, Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. The word eva has been used so many times. Tvameva Mata, Chapita Tvameva, Tvameva Bandhuscha, Sakha Tvameva. You are my only mother, my only father, my only brother, my only companion, my only wealth, my only knowledge. You are my one and only. Countless times we have recited this verse. Yet we have not accepted that God is our one and only. We have accepted only this much. Our philosophy is that God is also mine. God is my mother, but God is also my mother. But my real mother is the one at home. God is also my father. I accept that God is my father, but not my only father. He's also my father. But the real father is the one at home. God is my only wealth. No, God is also my wealth. I have a bank balance, a hefty one at that. I have investments. That is my wealth. Not only God. The ones who have accepted God to be their one and only, they have attained Him. We hear about Sur, Meera, Kabir, Nanak, Tukaram, Narsi Mehta. There's countless souls who have accepted God to be their one and only, and so they are now with God. They have attained God realization. They have become divine. They have gone home to God. We are here in this material world, and we are fighting with God that you're not my one and only. You alone are not mine. You're also mine. Sri Maharaj Ji, Jagat Guru Sri Kripalu Ji Maharaj has said in such simple and beautiful words that it's a ladai, it's a fight between he and bhi. Hindi words. He meaning only, alone, bhi meaning also. So it's a fight between only and also. God says, I'm the only one who's yours. And we say, no, my Lord, you're also mine. You're not my only one. And we have not given up. We have been so stubborn. We have never accepted God to be our one and only. But scriptures are telling us, they are telling us again and again, and saints are explaining to us, look, God is your only, the one and only. Accept that. And Vedas and Vedic scriptures tell us this. Logic also tells us that God is our one and only. And our own experience tells us that God is our one and only. We say, well, I have a father. But how long will he be your father? How long will this relationship exist? Well, until, as long as he's alive and as long as I'm alive. That relationship is alive only as long as my father is alive or I'm alive. It depends on who goes first. So the relationship is limited to a few years. We all know that. We know this. How long have you been related, husband and wife? Oh, we have been related to each other for 10 years now. That's when we got married. And how long will you remain related to one another? Well, it's in the wedding vows, the Christian wedding vows, till death do us part. Until he dies or until she dies. So as long as he's alive, as long as she is alive, the relationship exists. So it's our own experience that tells us that the ones we call our own, our loved ones, our flesh and blood, they are only ours for a limited period of time. It may be a long time, it may be a short time, it may be a very short time. But they are ours for a limited period, limited amount of time. They're not ours forever. Where were they in our previous lives? Did we know them in our previous lives? And even in this present life, a father may say to his son, you are dead to me. You have decided to live the wrong kind of life. I have told you so many times not to keep company of those kids, but you have not listened to me. Now you are a young man and yet you have made a mess of things. You have messed your life up. You have not listened to me. You have disrespected me. You have become a criminal. You have been in jail, and I have nothing more to do with you. When a child goes wayward, the father, the parent may put it in the news that this one is no longer my child. There have been children who have sought legal separation from their parents. Anyhow, so when a father finds out, when a father becomes absolutely disgusted with his son, he says, "You're no longer my son." So he breaks off that relationship. Get out of my house. But think about God. We're all His children, and we are His wayward children. We have not loved Him nearly as much as we have loved His creation. We have not loved Him as the real Father, the real Mother, the real Beloved. We have loved worldly people. And we have selected, we have chosen, we have accepted different people. In every lifetime, we've had different relatives. But we have not accepted God to be our one and only. But God loves us all the same. Not only does He love those who love Him exclusively, like Surdas, Mirabai, Kabir Das, not only does He love those who are His devotees, He loves those who are not His devotees. He loves even those who don't even believe in Him. Even the ones who say, there's no such thing as God. Even the atheists attain His grace. There have been mighty demons who have opposed God. They have sought enmity with God. Hiranyaksh, Hiranyakashipu, Ravan, Shishupal, Jarasandh, Kunj, Putana, so many. They were His wayward children, you can say. But God provided water, air, sunshine, all of these things, without which no one can remain alive. Bhagwan Sri Krishna did not say about Kunj, "Oh Kunj, you are trying to kill me? Well, I will show you. Next time you drink water, you will die because I will turn that water into poison. I'll make sure that in the next moment you'll be dead because the oxygen will turn poisonous for you." It was so easy for God to do that. But He loves His children unselfishly. Even though we are delinquents, yet He has great love for us. This is something to reflect upon. Our mind says, I know all this, I've heard this before. But hearing it is not enough. We must think about it, we must reflect on this, how God loves us. Because we use the word love so often in the world. We don't use it for God. We use it for so many people. We use it for other creatures. We use it for pets like cats and dogs. I love my dog. I love my puppy. No, don't call it my dog. It's my baby. I love my baby, this fur baby. I love my dog. I love my cat. I love my parrot. We say we love even insentient things. Ice cream, I love ice cream. I love chocolate. I love pizza. We love so many things and so many creatures. How often have we said, I love God? And have we even thought about the reasons we should love Him? And have we reflected on the fact that He loves us unselfishly? We know that He loves us unselfishly, but do we accept it? Do we really have faith that He loves us unselfishly? So He never forsakes us. He has never forsaken us. When we, His delinquent children, we were human and then we did not do what humans should do, then we became delinquents and we were born in the body of a cat or a dog or a donkey, a horse, a mosquito, a fly. But God never gave up on us. God never left us alone. It is quite amazing, and it's very humbling to think that God goes with the soul. When the soul leaves the body, God goes with the soul. And God goes with us and enters when we enter any form of life. It could be the body of a very disgusting creature. We call disgusting, like a pig that eats waste matter. But God was always there for us, even when we were born in the body of a pig, the body of any creature. He never forsakes us. He never forsakes us. And He was always with us, will always remain with us. He is our true sambandhi. The word sambandh is made of two words, sam and bandh. Samyak bandhan, meaning eternal bond. Eternal bond. A bond to which there is no beginning, and a bond to which there is no end. An eternal bond, sanatan rishta. Can we say that about anyone? We can't, because it's not true that no one in the world has always been ours. No one in the world. We cannot say that someone in my life will always be mine. It's not true. People talk about being married to the same person for 7 lifetimes. No. Our actions will decide where we will go. Where the wife will go, where the husband will go. How can they be related? How can they be husband and wife for 7 lifetimes? That's not truth. It's not true. Bhagwan Kapil tells his mother Devahuti, Teshamaham priya atma sutascha sakha guru suhrido daivamishtam. He is instructing his mother Devahuti, and he says, Mother, this is the 3rd canto of the Bhagavad Puran. He says, Oh mother, God is our only mother, only father, only brother, our only beloved, our only shelter. God and God alone. Lakshmanji says to Bhagwan Shri Ram, More sabahi ek tum swami, deen bandhur antarjami. More sabahi ek tum swami. Only you are everything to me. Bhrata bharta cha bandhuscha pita cha me raghava. Valmiki Ramayana. Lakshmanji says, Bhagwan Ram is not only my brother. Ram is not only my brother, he is my brother, my father, my mother, my everything. When Bhagwan Ram said to Lakshman, Bhaiya, don't insist on coming with me to the jungles for the 14 years. You need to stay home in Ayodhya. You need to take care. You need to help our father. He's devastated. He's devastated because I'm leaving. You need to be his support. He needs to run a kingdom, and how can he, in the state that he is in? You need to stay back. You need to help our father. That is your dharma. Lakshmanji said, I don't know any such dharma. I don't know any father. I don't know any other duty. I only know you. That's all I know. So please do not tell me about dharma. This is what Lakshmanji said. That I know only you. I don't have any other father. I have no other mother. And I will go with you. I am going with you. So we hear from saints, we hear from scriptures, we hear from the Vedas, Vedic scriptures, Mahapurush, the saints, the gurus. They're all telling us, God is telling us, look, I am the only one who's yours. Accept this. And we are being stubborn, as we think that God will gain something when we accept Him to be our one and only. We perhaps don't realize that we will gain everything when we accept God to be our one and only. We wonder, why is God wanting to be our one and only? Why does He want to be my one and only? I mean, people in the world, my father, my mother, people are very generous. My father says to me, look, you should love not only me, but you should love your mother, you should love your sister, and you should love your brother. You should love your grandparents. My father is so generous. My mother also says, Beta, love your sister, love your brother, love your cousins. My mother is so generous. She's not saying to me, I want you to love me alone. My father is not insisting that I should love him alone. What's going on with God? Bhagwan is saying, why is He so jealous? Why is He so envious that He says, I want to be your one and only. I am your one and only. And I will not tolerate, I will not accept even the slightest bit of attachment somewhere else. I will not accept even 99.9% surrender to me. I want 100%. Why is God so envious? Yada hyevaisha etasminnu dharmantaram kurute atha tasya bhayam bhavati. Taittiriya Upanishad. God says, even if there's a slightest lack in your love and your surrender, I will not come into your heart. I will not grace you. Why? Well, actually, people of the world, mother, father, people of the world, they will tell you they're happy as long as you keep the world in your mind. As long as you love the world, they are fine. But if you turn towards God and you say, I love God, then there is a commotion at home, isn't there? There's a commotion. Where are you going? Oh, I want to love God. No, you don't go there. No. And not yet. You're too young. You're not even married yet. Not yet. The husband starts to move more towards God, and the wife thinks, oh my God, he's going to leave me. The wife goes a little bit more towards God because everybody comes with their own sanskars. It's not like when they got married, they went around the sacred fire 7 times, that their sanskars got connected. They have their different sanskars. So if he's more interested towards God, she has a problem. If she has a more of a bent towards God, then he has a problem, because people of the world will tolerate attachments in the world, but they don't tolerate attachment to God or Guru. Where are you going? Hold on to him. He's going to leave us. There was a devotee, there was Satsangi. He was living in America and he was naive. He had just heard the lectures and he was very caught up with everything. He called his parents back home in India and he said, Mataji, Pitaji, I'm becoming detached from you. I want to love God. And they started crying, they started wailing. And he told me this and I said, what in the world made you think you should do that? You're nowhere yet. You're just starting on the spiritual path, and detachment is not something that you should proclaim, and detachment is not something external. They're thinking that you'll never see their face, you will never come to them. The thing is that even if whether you're attached or detached, they will not know the difference. Why do you have to proclaim it? Why did you have to announce it? So just by hearing that he's going more towards God, there was a big commotion in the family. Let's hold on to him. Let's lock him up in the room. He should not go the other way. He's saying too much. He's saying Radhe Radhe too much. He's gone to the Radhe Radhe group. Oh my God. He's gone there. He's gone. He's out of our hands. And I personally have seen this so many times. Family members just becoming so afraid and becoming so belligerent just because a member of the family is attending satsang. Not anything else, just attending satsang. They're nowhere near the detached state of the gopis or Surdas or Mirabai, but just, oh my God, she's going to satsang, he's going to satsang. What's going to come next? Somebody was wearing this patti, this little scarf, just to protect the throat. And she got a prasadi from Mangar, Maharaji's. Maharaji had worn that. When she wore it in satsang, somebody said, oh my goodness, you're taking sannyas. And I was there, I said, yes, indeed, sannyas starts from the neck. It starts when you wear this scarf, this color. So there's a lot of fear. People of the world don't tolerate if you go more towards God, but they're okay if you keep the world in your mind, in your heart. So God is the same. God says, I don't mind as long as you keep my family members in your heart. You keep as many saints as you want in your heart. There are uncountable gopis, you love them. Love the Gwalbals and love Surdas, Mirabai, Kabirdas. You just love all the saints. I'm fine with that. But don't keep the world in your mind. Don't be attached to the world. So just like the worldly people don't mind as long as you keep the world in your heart, in the same way, God doesn't mind if you keep His family members in your heart. Now the difference is that the world, everyone in the world has their self-interest to fulfill. So again, I'm speaking from experience, from what I've seen. A father saying to the daughter, oh, I think she's going to make donations to the ashram in India, and now she will not be contributing to our family, and so there was a big problem. She's going towards God, and she has not done anything yet, but she's going to start sending funds to India, and so she should be stopped. And we have an issue with this organization. And nothing has happened yet. She's just coming to satsang. Self-interest, my self-interest is going to be harmed. Once I said, as a joke, I said to an elderly woman, I said, well, I'll just take you with me. You make such good food. And the husband said, no, Didiji. And I said, no, I wasn't serious. I wasn't going to take her with me. But the self-interest is going to be harmed, so the world protests. But when God says, I want you to keep only me and my family members in your heart, is He protecting His self-interest? What self-interest does God have? What self-interest can He have? Name parthasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana na navaptam avaptavyam varta evacha karmani. Shri Krishna says, Arjun, there is nothing in the three worlds for me to do. There's no work for me to do. Because we perform works, we perform actions because of our self-interest. We have something to gain. We have happiness that we are running after, so we perform so many actions. What action does God have to perform? Nothing, no action, nothing. He has to do nothing because He is happiness. Anando brahmeti vyajanat. Taittiriya Upanishad. God is happiness, unlimited happiness, everlasting happiness, ever increasing happiness. So what self-interest can God have? Why are we fighting? Why are we fighting? Why are we being so stubborn? No, you're not my one and only. You're not my only. You're my also. You're also mine. You're not the only one who is mine. For countless lives we've been fighting with God, we have been stubborn, and for no reason. The one who has nothing to gain from us, the one who only loves us, but some people say, no, He punishes us too. But He punishes us because of His love for us. Why does a mother punish her child? Because she is his enemy? No. Because the child has done something wrong. So she is scolding him, she is disciplining him, she's taking away his privileges, she is punishing him. And the naive child, the innocent child, the ignorant child says, my mummy hates me. So many times mothers and fathers have to hear that, right? And a lot of times when I speak to parents, especially young ones, they say, oh my God, my kid hates me. No, don't take his words to heart. The child is naive. He thinks that you hate him, or he will say he hates you. But the mother is disciplining her child, punishing her child because of love. So God, when he punishes us, it's not because of any other reason except that his tremendous love for us. You can say that God is, that Nandan, Sri Krishna, is absolutely crazy for us. Absolutely head over heels in love with us. He loves us. He is crazy about us. Even if we are misbehaving, he is still with us. He never leaves, he never forsakes any individual soul. There are friends in the world who are fair weather friends. They'll be with you as long as everything is going well, as long as they can gain something from you. Hanging around with this person makes me look good because this one is so popular. This one has lots of money. So it'll be nice to hang around because this one will pay for all the restaurant bills. Whenever we hang around, she'll pay. It's for one reason or the other. People will be friends with you. But if you lose what they're after, they will no longer be your friends. They will unfriend you. They will not respond to your texts, to your messages. They will say, sorry, I'm really busy these days. Hasn't everyone over here experienced that? That people will know you only as long as they have something to gain from you. But then again, you will also hang on to them as long as you have something to gain. We're all the same. Narmada ke kankar sab shankar, right? Everybody's the same. It's not that we should find fault with someone else. If we point the finger at someone else, we are pointing 3 fingers at ourselves because we are the same. We look out for our self-interest. We're not unselfish. We have our selfish motives. But God is the only one about whom we can say that there is no selfish motive. God and then Guru, the divine Guru, the one who has attained God realization. Because now he has attained whatever there is to be attained. There's nothing left to work for. So now he works for humanity. He works for us. He doesn't work for himself. He works for the sake of others. He works for the welfare of the world. So what problem do we have in using only he instead of also be? It's because we don't really accept that God alone is ours. We have thought time and time again, in every lifetime as a human, we have thought again and again that the world is ours. This world is mine. How much our heart melts for the world, and not for the entire world, only for those few people that we call our own. Our heart melts for them. We cry for them, we grieve for them. There are many instances in which a person is grieving all life long. For whom? For someone they know for just a few years. But they have accepted that person to be their one and only. So the grieving process goes on for years and years. They live in grief, they die in grief. Ramakrishna Paramhans asks, he says, people shed buckets and buckets of tears for the world, but who cries for God? Who really cries for God? Very few, very rare souls, very few people cry for God. And God has everything to give us. In Garud Puran, Bhagwan says, through Bhagwan Vedavyas says, Yad durlabham yadaprapyam manaso yanna gocharam tadapya prarthito dhyato dadati madhusudanah. When you accept, as soon as you accept Bhagwan to be your one and only, he will give you everything which is very difficult to attain. Yad durlabham. And he will give you everything that is impossible to attain. Yadaprapyam. जो दुर्लभ है, जो अप्राप्य है, और मनसो यन्न गोचरम, और फिर जो मन से सोचा भी नहीं जा सकता, भगवान वो सब दे देते हैं. जो अति दुर्लभ है, जो अप्राप्य है, और जो मन बुद्धि से परे है, जिसके बारे में हम सोच भी नहीं सकते, भगवान दे देते हैं. So God gives us everything which is very difficult to attain, which is impossible to attain, and he also gives us that which the mind cannot even conceive of. Think about these words. Which the mind cannot even conceive of. We can't even think about those gifts that God will give to us. Why does that not excite us? Why does that not make us mad with happiness? Sri Maharaj Ji used to say, if you really think about what you have received, then you will jump so high that your head will hit the ceiling. You'll be so happy. You'll go mad with happiness. You will run here and there and you'll scream like a madman, but only if you realize what you have received. So when we reflect on what God gives to us and the fact that He's our one and only, and He gives us everything, and He has never forsaken us, and He will never forsake us. And this realization, as it gets deeper and deeper, we will become more and more mad with happiness. We will love Him more and more. And this is what these saints have gone through. The more they realize that God is mine, the more they fell in love with Him. And when they realized completely, when the realization was 100% that God is my one and only, then God gave them all His property. Then they became what we call God realized. They attained Bhagavad Prapti. Then not in an instant, in a fraction of an instant, divine knowledge was theirs. Maya ran away. Maya does not get destroyed. Maya is like a pair of handcuffs. The prisoner is in the jail, and now today his time is over, his punishment is finished. Now the jailer comes and with the key opens the handcuffs and says, you're free to go. The handcuffs remain, but they don't remain around the prisoner's wrist. He's no longer a prisoner. So, when we realize fully that God is our one and only, and when we realize fully the gifts that He has given to us, when we are no longer ungrateful, Surdas Ji says, Mosam kaun kutil khalkami, jin tanu diyo tahi bisrayo, ऐसो नमक हरामी, मौसम कौन कुटिल खलकामी. My Lord, who is a bigger sinner than myself? I have forgotten the one who gave me life. I am so ungrateful. I'm so ungrateful. So we have forgotten Him. We are ungrateful. When we become grateful, when we realize what He has given to us, then He will come into our heart. Because then nobody else will be there. Then the entire heart will be His. There's a throne in the heart, and now that throne is empty, and He, the emperor of our heart, He will now sit on that throne forever and ever. It's a matter of understanding the knowledge of the scriptures. It's a matter of paying attention to what the Divine Guru explains. There are three eternal personalities. One is ourselves, the individual soul. One is the Supreme Soul. One is Maya. So now, we, the individual souls, we can either belong to God or we can belong to Maya. There's no third entity, personality that we can belong to, right? The three tattva, three entities, that's it. Brahma, Jeev, Maya. So Jeev, the individual soul, can either belong to God or to Maya. But the Jeev does not have anything in common with Maya. It cannot belong to Maya. The Atma, Jivatma, is conscious, it is sentient, and Maya is Jad. We are Chetan, we have life. In other words, the soul is conscious, but Maya is Jad, Maya is insentient. Maya is like a piece of cloth or anything insentient, an object, like a glass or this little thing over here, steel cover. Maya is just like that, lifeless. But when God gives His energy to Maya, then bhasa satya eva sahita sahaya. Then it seems it is as if it is conscious because God has given it consciousness. Now Maya can perform amazing works, creating the universe. What work could be bigger than that? Now Maya can do so much, but by itself Maya is insentient. How can the soul belong to God, to Maya? Maya creates the world. The world, in other words Maya, has a relationship with the body. The body is insentient, body is lifeless, and Maya is also lifeless. So they're both similar. They both belong in the same category. You may say, well, no, the body is not insentient. I'm able to see with my eyes and hear with my ears. I'm able to taste food with my tongue. Yes, but only because the soul is in the body. So the body seems as if it is conscious. But the moment the soul leaves the body, we see what the body is all about. It is Jad. The eyes don't disappear from the body, but the eyes cannot see. That body has ears attached to them. The ears don't fly away anywhere, but they can't hear. The body feels no pleasure, neither pleasure nor pain. So by itself, the body is insentient and Maya is insentient. So the world made of Maya, it belongs to, it has something very, very important in common with our body. So our body has a good relationship with the world. But the soul is conscious because it receives consciousness. Please pay attention. Don't become so comfortable that you fall asleep. So, when the soul receives consciousness from God, it's only then that the soul becomes conscious. Our soul, we are conscious. Why? Because of God. God is vibhuchit, He is unlimited consciousness, and we, the soul, the individual soul, is anuchit, minute consciousness. It's like the sun in contrast to the firefly. We're like the firefly, God is like the sun. God is vibhuchit, unlimited consciousness, and the soul is anuchit, because it gives consciousness to only one body. God is vibhuchit, unlimited consciousness, giving consciousness to unlimited souls. So we, meaning the soul, we belong to God. We cannot belong to Maya. It's impossible. So here we are in the human form of life. We are practicing devotion to God under the guidance of Jagadguru Sri Kripaluji Maharaj. Yes, we're practicing devotion under the guidance of a Guru. We have learned so much of theory is in our brain. We know so much. And we know about the fight between he and bhi, between only and also. And we are living our days, and we have lived uncountable lives. Every time we were human, we have practiced devotion uncountable times. Because uncountable times we have been born human, uncountable times we have come into contact with a guru, uncountable times we have heard the philosophy, uncountable days we have lived as human. But never have we accepted that God alone belongs to us. We have lived so many days, uncountable days. We've had amazing days. We've said, oh, my day was just amazing. These days are so enjoyable. We've had such great days. We've had good days, bad days, lucky days, unlucky days. But I say to you that the most fortunate day would be the one when we accept what our divine Guru has taught us, when we accept that God alone is mine. When we start using only instead of also. When we say not only using our tongue, when we not only speak the words Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva, but when we speak these words, we speak it with all our heart. We speak with full conviction that yes, he alone, Nandanandan, only Nandanandan is mine. He alone is my mother, my father. He alone is my brother, my companion, my friend, my wealth, my knowledge. He is my one and only. When that day comes, it has not come for us. When will it come? How long will it be before it comes? That depends on us. It depends on the individual. How fast do you want that day to come? I want it to come really fast. Then you will make the effort. I'm okay, I'll just relax, and when it comes, it comes. It depends on the individual. But when that moment comes, that day arrives, that will be the most auspicious and the most fortunate day of all. बोलिए वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे.